Saturday, May 18th. It's about 80 degrees, 5:30 in the afternoon. I saw scouts earlier today. I saw one in the morning, and then I saw scouts about an hour ago, but it wasn't a ton, so I wasn't super excited. It was just like maybe 4, but maybe I missed the primary scouting, and I would expect to see a lot more to continue to come. This trap has caught some of the biggest swarms we've ever caught. This is Grand Rapids, Michigan, in a subdivision, in a backyard, highly populated area. So here you go. You saw the footage earlier. I thought for sure it was a move-in, and I come here, look in the hole underneath. I can't see any bees. But after I closed the entrance, I got dive bombed by a bee, and there was none on the outside. And I'm like, well, where'd that bee come from? Is it hiding in the trees? So then I come in here, and these bees are just working, preparing. And we've asked in the group before, Honeybee, all one word, Honeybee Swarm Catching on Facebook, all one word, Honeybee, and then swarm catching. Is there scout bees that camp overnight before the swarm comes? I thought they were in here. You saw the activity. I never saw them leave. I wasn't paying close attention, but I guess tomorrow we'll find out, and we'll be waiting for a move-in. I'm shocked they're not in here. This is why I like catching bees. They keep you on your toes. This is why you always check your trap before you take it down. If I would have just judged by the activity I saw, there would have been no bees to move. Good morning. 8:30 in the morning, May 19th, Sunday. So as you saw in the video, they were here yesterday. They weren't in the trap last night after I thought they moved in. And now we have active scouting again this morning. This trap's always been interesting. We've had some oddball move-ins that have come in waves, and this trap has caught some huge swarms. So hoping today's the day. We'll see. Beautiful morning. Stayed in the 60s, so it'll be a quick wake up for them today. Wait a minute, 10 a.m. and we have less bees. We have almost no bees. Don't get discouraged. Often a complete die-off before the move-in should be expected. And actually, after I see good scouting numbers and I see a die-off, I take it as a good sign. So 10 o'clock and now a complete die-off. So we went from tons of scouting yesterday, which I believed was a move-in, to 5 bees in the trap when I checked it at night, to scouting already again this morning at 8:30, good amount of scouting, to no bees at all. This is actually a sign that they're at the bivouac getting all their information and coordinates and directions straightened out, so everybody's on board before the move-in. So I like to see a complete die-off. Also, it's getting windier. There's no rain in the forecast, but swarms love dancing around rain. You would think that they would always move in good weather, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They seem to like to do things around storms and wind. And just like that, they're here. It freaked me out. I heard them behind my head, and here they come. So when I was filming the massive die-off, I actually heard a buzzing behind my head that kind of freaked me out. I wish I wouldn't have cut the camera off. I should have known what it was. But anyways, just like that, here they are. That's a 1-inch hole, and 30,000 bees will have no problem getting in there within 20 minutes. This started at 10:15, and we'll see how long it takes. All right, so here we go. Like the title said, a lesson in swarm behavior. This is lessons learned by me. I'm certainly not an expert, but what we learned on this one, this catch right here, was in very close proximity to what you're seeing right now as far as the yard. What we learned on this one, as you saw in the video, is that scouts will indeed camp overnight after deciding this is their home. There was 5 to 10 scouts still at this trap inside preparing the bait comb, which is on this side right here. Also, when I went to check it that night, the night I thought they were in there, I got bumped. I got a warning shot from a bee that apparently was guarding the area. I opened up the lid, as you saw in the video, and there were scouts. So I've always wondered that. I'll be honest, I've gone back and forth because I've had orphan bees, and I'm like, no, scouts don't camp. Some scouts do camp overnight and prepare the new home for the arrival the next day. Also, about a rapid die-off in scouting after significant numbers. I'm talking 60 to 100 scouts frantically scouting your trap. And then all of a sudden it goes away and dies and there's nothing. As you saw in the video, while I was talking about that, all of a sudden I heard a loud noise behind me and the area was full of bees. So they camp overnight. There'll be a rapid drop off after significant scouting. And then also I want to talk about short distance moves. Okay, I did everything I normally would. Unfortunately, I caught them through my second entrance just because of the way I want to watch the trap and how I positioned it in the tree. And then I had to let them out, which would be normally my primary entrance. And I put a stick. I did everything I could. I still ended up with orphan bees at the tree. I did not immediately hang a trap. If there's already orphan bees there and you hang a trap, you're only going to prolong your misery because they're going to wait for the rest of the bees to show up versus getting the message that home is gone and drifting to another colony. Hopefully they drifted into one of these. This yard's growing rapidly. So I didn't hang the trap immediately because I want the bees to get the message. Home is gone. I hang a trap, they hang out. Now I'm waiting for them to die, which can take weeks for my trap to be effective in a possible scout material again. Orphans hanging out at a trap are going to shut down your scouting. It's just my experience. I don't like it. I did everything I could to avoid orphans, but unfortunately I ended up with 20 orphans. One of the things I did different, and I will not do again, is I woke up at 5 a.m. to move this trap, thinking that I was going to beat the girls. And for the first time in a long time, I ended up with orphans. I need to move them at midnight. I need to move them at 10 to midnight, But if I think I'm going to beat them out in the morning, I'm not effective. And I was there at 5 a.m., so I don't know. Some of the girls get up early. That's a possibility why I ended up with orphans. And then also it's such a short distance move. All of this might not have worked. I think that that's less likely than the fact that 20 girls started their day before 5 a.m. before I got there. And that's really unfortunate because I wasn't able to immediately hang the trap. It stormed that night and it's since been a couple days. It's caught on Sunday. This is now Thursday. There's no orphans hanging out at that tree anymore. I will tell you though, sometimes you think there's no orphans. They're actually on the leaves. They're in the tree. You hang the trap, next thing you know, they're there. So you have to be really certain and positive they're not there. So those are our lessons that I've learned. Scouts will definitely indeed camp. There will definitely be a rapid die-off in the scouting before a move-in, and it can happen quick. That die-off happened less than a half hour before they showed up. It just died to nothing, and it was only dead for maybe 10 or 20 minutes, and they showed up. It was really, really cool to see. I hope it works out well in the video. I haven't edited it yet. So, and then also short distance moves. You can do everything to force new orientation flights, and it can fail. It did for me. So for whatever reason. So we're going to install this one. Another thing I want to get to, my plan for this yard, or my plan for my season, was to catch 9. I had a goal because last year was 7 catches. I had a goal of 9 catches. I had enough equipment for 9. I had 8 nukes. Actually, I got 6 nukes, 2 on back order. And I needed 1 more to fill out the 8 at my primary yard. That makes 9 catches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and guess what? 6 is in a tree right now with trap 1. That means there's only 2 more spots left on here. If you see me starting to install in pro nukes, that's your hint that I'm giving away bees again. I have given away full 10 frame colonies at the beginning of this year, and if I catch too many bees, I have no choice but to give them away. Full disclosure, I'll be giving them to you in a pro nuke that I sell for $19, and 5 potentially drawn out frames is $2 a piece for me. So if I give you a pro nuke and 5 frames, that's $30, and guess what? It's full of free bees. So I do need to recoup the money on my frames and my pro nukes. So technically, I guess they're not free. The bees are free, the equipment's not. So anyways, let's get started. I'll continue to talk while we do this. This one I had an idea that it was a good size catch. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Not only am I super excited about this one, I'm super excited about the season. We have people catching that didn't catch last year. We have people catching for the first time. It's pretty awesome. Honeybee, one word, honeybee, and then the second 2 worms, swarm catching on Facebook. It's an awesome group, not because of me, but because of the member participation. So here you go. Pretty good size. I mean, it's 4 frames. We'll see how it breaks apart when we get in there. There's a video coming out on this yard and how I did it. I'm calling it my nuke yard. I might as well call it my free bee giveaway yard, because this is where the people are coming. They don't like the smell of Sharpies. I've noticed that. It's tough not to pinch a bee, but I made the mistake of labeling these frames at the beginning of the season and then they don't catch, and I don't like that. I like the accurate year that they went into service. I didn't do it at the beginning. If you're starting out, I recommend you do it. I got my bait comb frame, for instance, that doesn't have a year on it. Now I know roughly because I know when I started, but that's not exact. So here we go. I gotta get to this one because there's a second video on this trap and a third video of the bees currently sitting in a trap right now, trap 1. So everything's kept level for a reason. You can see I got some good drawn comb because my plan is to never leave them in from Sunday to Thursday, but it happened. So take your time and level them while we're in the tree. As we say, swarms are built to draw comb, right? And there's 4 days worth of comb. They're almost all the way down to my fishing line. So there's videos on all these catches. Side note, I'm not feeding my swarm catches this year. We're not even into the black locust yet. I have honey supers that I believe are starting to be capped in our primary yard. And last year I didn't hang honey supers until I think it was the 21st of May. And I already have full honey supers on the 23rd. This catch is not my bees. I do have bees within striking distance of this trap, but you're looking at them and they're all recent swarm catches. They wouldn't have swarmed, and there's no absconding. So this was the bait comb. It is very full. They're bringing in pollen. I didn't see the queen. We are seeing so much swarming that this could very well be a cast off. It's not the biggest, and it's certainly not as big as the ones I've caught in this location before. So again, this could be a cast off. It could be a virgin queen. If she was in here on Sunday, she very well still may need to be mated. I'm not gonna play with it. There's not very many bees left behind. I'm not even gonna bang it. I'm just gonna tilt it. I do want to close their door, as I've said to you before. This will be a point of interest until you take it away. We got a stubborn one. So take their door away. We have to go, and after this I have to go back that way and start inspecting these colonies. It's May 23rd. I didn't have my first catch the last 2 years until Memorial Day weekend. That's this weekend. I've already caught, now 2 of them are confirmed probably my bees. So 2 my bees, 5 not my bees, and it's not even Memorial weekend. Who's not excited? I forgot my magnet on my belt. That wouldn't have happened if I had my accessory. I might be selling those in the future. I'm trying to line up a good source. So, there you go. Lessons in bee behaviors. Those 3 things that I mentioned, I believe to be fact. Scouts will camp overnight after deciding this is the tramp to prepare it and guard it. There will be a complete die-off before a move-in after significant scouting, and also you can do everything possible to force orientation flights, but it still may not work out, and there still may be orphans back at your catch location. I recommend not putting up a trap. Let them get the message. So Sunday to Thursday, there's no orphans left, right? If I would have hung a trap, I could have extended that orphan period out for weeks, and it's nothing but a bummer and nothing but a headache. Take the trap away if you have orphans, and let them get the message and drift on to other colonies, versus leaving the trap up there potentially for weeks, having orphans, shutting down any future scouting. Those are my opinions, and that's how I handled it with this one. This trap will be going back up later today. Did I miss the first wave of cast-offs? I might have from this, but this looks like it might have been a cast-off anyways. So those are my lessons that I've learned in beekeeping. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate you watching. I hope your bees are well.